pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why.
Whoopee, we're all going to die. All right, carbon trading must be globally regulated. This is out of the Telegraph. Simon Lynette, Vice Chairman of Rothschild, has called for a new international body, the World Environmental Agency, to regulate carbon trading. I just want to point out that he says the human causes of climate change are now well established. The overall measure we must take, a reduction of our emissions, is painfully obvious. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure the Rothschild family isn't going to be hurting for any carbon tax emissions, but the common person is, and that's what this is about. This is about control. This is an excellent article to point out. I mean, it's absolute 110% propaganda, and now you have nation states putting this into action with other nation states agreeing on set rules and set CO2 emissions. I mean, it's absolute insanity, Nick.
Bermas, you are right, and it doesn't stop with the World Environmental Agency idea. If you scroll down in that article, he says, so emission tradings could establish a new world order for a sustainable planet.
Where's that? Where's the New World Order line? Give me an idea.
Almost like the last sentence in there.
Almost. Oh, there it is. So emissions trading could establish a new world order for a sustainable planet, one based on... I can't believe I missed this article. Thank you. So, I'm working on a New World Order movie, and it's so good to really establish that this is their term. This is not my term. This is not tinfoil hatland term. This is the elitist term in almost every chance they get to bring in a global banking system, a global trade system such as this one, which is based on phony carbon emissions. It's unbelievable, man. I mean, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. Well, you know what? I'm pretty encouraged. Did you read this Politico article that came out today?
No, I don't think I did. Which one is that?
It's Bilderberger's Conspiracists, and it's by Kenneth P. Vogel, and it's 4 pages, and it exposes who the Bilderberg Group is, who attends, how long they've been into power, and it's not snarky. It actually cites INFOWARRIOR.com and PrisonPlanet.com and admits that it looks like, Obama and Hillary did go to this Bilderberg meeting, and, they have members on the staff. It's actually an amazing article. So it shows that we can reach out and grab a hold of people that maybe aren't familiar with this information. Have you seen the Obama deception yet?
Yeah, and I love it. It's great.
I think this movie is reaching out to people. Not only was this story done in light of the Obama deception, but AOL had to do a story on it today. And out of the thousands that were polled, about 70% said that they didn't know who the Bilderberg was before reading this article at all. And then about another 70% said, yeah, this sounds pretty damn suspicious. So, maybe we just have to wake people up. Put down the iPhones. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's why I'm calling for InfoWarrior Independence Day this July 4th. No excuses. We've got a long time to plan for this. Any group you're a part of, whether it's, End the Federal Reserve, 9/11 Truth, We Are Change, Truth Action, Lone Lantern, whatever you can do, whether it's copy DVDs, hand out flyers, hold screenings, this July 4th, it's time to reach out to people. Nick, I thank you for the call. You know what? I'm going to read this Family Guy court battles thing that I let in with, and then I'm going to play the clip. I wish that we could play the actual video clip because it would be a lot more fun to comment on, but it's been pulled everywhere from YouTube and Google Video, so we're just going to play the song. But creators of the U.S. television show Family Guy did not infringe copyright when they transformed the song When You Wish Upon a Star for commercial use in an episode, a U.S. judge ruled on Monday. Music publisher Bourne Company, the U.S. copyright owner of the song made famous in Walt Disney's Pinocchio, sued Fox Broadcasting Company creator Seth MacFarlane and producers in October 2007 for copyright breach. The lawsuit said the song I Need a Jew, featured in one of the animated show's episodes, was a thinly veiled copy of the music from When You Wish Upon a Star, coupled with new anti-Semitic lyrics, and had done damage to the original. While there can be no doubt that the lyrics were anti-Semitic, I don't think it did any damage to the original, and I think the judge was dead on this one. But U.S. District Attorney Deborah Batts ruled that the lyrics and tone of the song used in The Family Guy were strikingly different. The judge also said it was fair for it to be imitated for humorous effect since the music published had benefited from the song's association with other more wholesome shows like Pinocchio. It is precisely that beneficial association that opens the song up for ridicule by parodists seeking to take the wind of such a lofty, magical, or pure association, she said. All right, why don't we just go to the clip and let the viewer decide for themselves. The call-in line is 866-582-9933.
So star, wondrous dancing speck of light. I need a Jew. Lois makes me take the rap, 'cause our checkbook looks like crap. Since I can't give her a slap, I need a Jew. Where to find a Baum or Steen or Stein to teach me how to whine and do my taxes?
See, we're missing a magical moment in the show right now.
Though by many they're abhorred, Hebrew people I've adored, even though they killed my Lord. I need a Jew.
And that's why the First Amendment exists, folks. I mean, you can disagree with the content of a lot of lyrics. If you actually see the cartoon, there's a scene also where they go to a temple, and Optimus Prime is there, and the line's like, Optimus Prime is Jewish? And he morphs into something. It's a pretty funny episode, and it is in fun, and anytime you can take a stab at Disney, I think it's a positive deal. So there you have it. A Family Guy wins in court, and Family Guy's actually gotten a lot thin lately. I don't know if anybody saw it, but this week on Family Guy, they did like an entire Conway Twitty song. Like they've had like the cutaways where it's like, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Conway Twitty, and usually it's a verse or two. Nope. The latest Family Guy, they decided to just play an entire Conway Twitty song, start to finish. Getting a little weak there, Family Guy. Speaking of animation. Paul Hartman. Paul, why don't you get in here? Can Jaron take over? We're going to talk about this. We got about 5 minutes. Might as well make the segment pretty good here. So I miss The Simpsons. I've seen just about every Simpsons that exists, and I make it a point, even when I do miss it, to watch it. So Paul tells me today, he's like, hey, man, did you see The Simpsons last night? And I'm like, no, man, I didn't see The Simpsons. What's the deal with it? So why don't you tell him what you told me?
Oh, man, it was it was crazy because... I'm still kind of new to the game or whatever, and it was just, you had just got done schooling me, you and Jaren were schooling me about the whole, changing into Aquarius and why the fishies were a big deal. I never understood what was up with the Jesus fishies. I didn't understand that. Mm-hmm. And now I kind of know a little bit of something since you schooled me, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking on it, watching The Simpsons, just kind of, kind of glazing over. I got my kids whining. I'm at my in-laws' house, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at this, and it's like, and then Freemasonry is brought into the mix.
Well, let's just start talking about it. So the very beginning of it starts in with a solar eclipse. One of the things that we've been talking about is, sun worship, and how paganism and sun worship has worked its way into the major religions. I also discussed, there are parts of Masonry that are also into this light worship, the coming up of the sun, and then, it comes down, the summer solstice, winter solstice, that type of thing. So it starts in with that, right? And then, and then it starts going into this secret nun society, right? And you don't really know what's going on there, but it kind of tries to play off the Da Vinci Code a little bit. Mm-hmm. But then from the Da Vinci Code, it gets into Freemasonry. Mm-hmm. And basically they say this secret covenant of nuns had this gem which is going to bring in the new age of peace and happiness and tranquility.
Yeah, kind of like the on the Eye of the Phoenix, the stone, the stone from
the all-seeing eye, and it's going to bring in from the capstone. They say Maitreya or one of these other things from the dog star is going to come down. Their new Christ or whatever, and to bring in the new age, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in this one, they need the gem quote unquote, the gem is going to bring in the new age. And while the secret nuns are doing this, Ben Franklin is overhearing it.
Yeah.
So Ben Franklin is a Freemason. And Ben Franklin then gets together, I believe it was with Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. Those were the two that might have been Hamilton too. I'm not sure. But they basically say that they're Freemasons, right? And they say how they staged the Revolutionary War with the king.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then the King George and George Washington, there's a scene where the Revolutionary War is going on in the background, and King George and George Washington are hugging and like high-fiving and getting along great. And then some of the army guys pass by and they act like they're fighting, and then as soon as they pass by again, they then, they're buddies again. And then they show that snake at the bottom. Remember that?
Yeah, they start chopping. Yeah,
and they
exactly.
chop it up into the 13 colonies. The very famous snake thing.